coming to you live from the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. It's the Sheena Metal Experience with your host, Sheena Metal.
Hi, and welcome to the Sheena Metal Experience, only on Parapod TV, where you can find us all across the internet streaming platforms and on your Roku app. I'm Sheena Metal. I'm a psychic medium. I'm an energetic healer. I'm an interfaith minister. I'm a 29-year talk radio host in Los Angeles and beyond. I'm a creative and a performing artist and a paranormal survivor. And I come to you live from my home in Southern California every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific time. This show is about spirituality. It's about creativity. It's about humanity. It's about passion. It's about service. It's really about becoming and then maintaining being your best you in this big, beautiful world. And how are you inspiring others to do the same? And it may be my show. It is the Sheena Metal Experience after all, but that doesn't mean it's not always and forever your experience. My guests today are both making their debut here on the show. I'm so excited for all the things that I see them doing around town, events to bring people together, and they're fantastic people and supporters of local music, which I love. And it's so great to have them here. Please welcome from PM Productions, Pamela Morgan, and from Girl Spot Productions, Deb Kelly. Welcome, my friends. How are you?
How are you? Sheena, how are you?
I'm good. It's so good to have you both here. I've been wanting to do this for so long, and we're finally here, and I'm so excited.
Yes, long time I've been talking with you on the side, saying we got to do the show.
Secretly on the side.
Thank you for having us here.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure.
Thank you.
One of the things that I guess I'm going to get right into this, and then I want to talk a little bit about both of you and where you come from and why you do what you do. And we'll come back to this, but I want to start with this. One of the things that's kind of part of my mission in my spiritual work and my work in media, my creative work is, why aren't women supporting each other more? And I think across the board, women should be supporting each other, supporting each other's events. More women should support women's sports. Like, why are we not supporting each other more? And so when I see two women coming together as friends to do something to help other women and to help women, promote women, that makes me so happy, because we can be our own worst enemy. And I think it's so important that we get together and put on our girl power shirt and go out and support each other. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Yes, 100 million%. And it's about the trepidation that women feel about going into the unknown or going to something different, or knowing where they don't know a lot of people. And both Deb and I, we both feel really strongly about having the single people, the couples, the people that don't get out of their house. They stay home all the time, and they just need an outlet where there's their kind of people that are out. And so people don't have that when they go to the bars. They have the 20, 30-year-olds. It's not their people, quote unquote. Right. And we want a place for our people to go that we know that they're going to be there. We're going to have so much fun. And every one of my events I've been doing, I got back into the business for 3 years. Every single person had a good time. So it was like, and I always go up and ask every single person individually, are you having a good time? Or what can I do to make you, have a good time? Clean mind. But that's what, just saying that we want to keep their energies up and them coming to the events so they get off of the couch.
Yes. Yes. And out amongst people, right? I mean, I think that is a problem across the board, especially since the internet and our phones have taken over our lives. And I think the connections that we make on the internet and through social media with people are fantastic. And certainly for what we do in promoting and in media, it's been essential and crucial to help us, right? When I first started out as a promoter, you had to hire a publicist and pay them thousands of dollars to do the promotion you now do on social media for free. But that plus COVID, when we all got used to being home, and some people are still not out as much as they were, I think that now more than ever, it's important we get people out face to face, because there is something different about being in a group of people than there is just watching something or looking at pictures on social media. And is that for you, Deb? Is that the same thing? Is that as important for you, that we get people out of their homes and making new friends and finding new love and finding their tribe?
Exactly. And, a lot of people at my age don't want to go to a bar and just go into a bar hoping to meet somebody or not. Whereas an event that feels safe, like we're putting on, it's a way of hanging out with your friends, meet new people. Hopefully, we go around and introduce some of the people that are standing back a little to other people. They'll see some familiar faces. The I was going to bring up COVID because people did get used to hiding behind the computer screen and not having the social. I saw that in my everyday job during the daytime, where my customers are no longer going into the office. So by creating these events for the women, we're getting people back out and giving them an opportunity to interact together.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, I think my mom used to have an expression, you get a little buggy. She used to say when you're not around people, after a while you get a little buggy. And I'm not 100% sure what that definition was for her. But I find that if I went through a phase in my life where I was on an FM radio station in town and I was doing overnights. So basically, I was awake when everybody I knew was asleep, and I was asleep when everybody I knew was awake. And I saw my board op, my screener, my co-host, and sometimes I go weeks at a time and not see any other human beings. And I noticed I started to get a little weird. And when they had us go out to these big events like at Raging Waters or Knott's Berry Farm, it was hard to be around people because I hadn't been around people for so long. Like, peopling is a muscle, right? And the more you do it, the better you are at it. And um,
Absolutely.
so I think for folks that are not going out, it's hard for them to get out, but the more you get out, then the more you want to be out.
Correct.
And then you find, whatever group of friends suit you, whether it's just you meet one friend or you meet 20 friends. Some people like a big friend group, some people like a little one, and that's completely up to you, but you have like a fun place to go and something really fun to do. Like see music or go on a boat ride. I mean, whatever it is,
Yes.
it's just something to make your life a little special. Because you were talking about your day job, your regular job, Deb. So many people, I think, just go to their jobs and they come home and they watch a little Netflix and go to sleep, and they're
Mm-hmm.
missing like that excitement in their life, right?
Right, right.
Um, so let's talk a little bit about how you got into it, Pamela. What sort of drew you into putting events together? How and when did it all start for you?
Actually, 1999, I was a promoter, and this was like the dark ages of promoting. We
I
only had
remember.
Girl Bar, and we had Girl Bar, and then we had all the little clubs here. So my club name was Girls Productions, and I did it for 3 years, from 1999 to about 2002.
Okay.
And I was the same thing. I wanted a women's event once a month. I had all these great people working. We did not have we only had the magazine to put it in. Nobody knew.
Right.
There was no social media at that time. There was no
Yes.
Facebook. There was no way to, and I didn't go out to bars. So I had to physically go out at countless times and, and promote. But it was like pulling teeth to get the ladies to come out. And it was so difficult. And then finally, it took me 3 years. And I think Corday and I did an event, 2003. I got Hamburger Mary's, and they wouldn't give me a Saturday or Sunday. They would only give me a Thursday night. And I'm
Sure.
like, I'll take it. So I'm like flyering and going out, because that's what you had to do to reach anybody. That's anybody. So
Yeah.
finally, my last event I did with Corday, we did an all girls event. It was a women bands, and she brought in all these performers, and they all sang one or two songs, and the place was packed. I mean, it was just like, and finally I was like, 3 years, I'm like, Corday, we did it. It took us this long, and now they know who we are. Unfortunately, I had a medical injury with both of my legs, because I was kind of burning the candle at both ends. I've owned a gym for 20 years, but it was about 10 years in. And so I was doing early mornings and then late nights with promoting. So both my legs, I had to get surgery on, and I had exertional compartmental syndrome, and I could have lost both my legs because I was doing that. So I had to take a break for about 2 years from everything, because I had to have surgery on both, and I was in a wheelchair and had to heal. And then I went back just to my gym because that was my first in love. So I kind of quit in 2003. So 2003 I stopped, but I had done all this, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, to get the women out once a month to give us somewhere to go. So then about 3 years ago, a friend of mine, Leanne Wilson, who said, Pam, let's do this. She did a club in Long Beach. She was out for a few years. She's like, Pam, let's do this. We need it. We need it here in Long Beach. We need it here. The ladies need us. Yes. So she begged me, and I was like, I was training her at the time. She's a really good friend of mine. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. It's too difficult because it's very hard to get the women to come out and to support any women's events continuously and consecutively. So she talked me into it. So it was 3 years ago, actually, last week, that we did our first club back at the Suite, and she got me back out, and I said, let's do this.
Nice.
Yeah. And unfortunately, she passed away a year and a half ago, and love her to death. God bless her soul. But she got me back. She got me back. And so now I'm back, and now I want to do something. And I found Deb Kelly, which is my most amazing business partner I could find. And we have the same vision, and that's what I was looking for, is someone with my same vision, and we're going forward and hopefully keep this going.
Do you think whenever you do one, you've got a little bit of Leanne's energy with you?
Absolutely. No, she, like the boat thing, she's like, do the boats, Pam, do the boats.
Exactly. She's riding on the front of the boat, right? Like a masthead.
She's there, and Deb Kelly's a sailor. She will tell you she's a sailor. I've been sailing since I've been 10. My dad, I have Captain Morgan on my arm. He's my guardian angel. He passed away 5 years ago, and he is so happy, and Leanne is so happy. And so this is like just part of her that I can bring forward, especially with the cruises, because that's what she said. She's like, no, she called them booze cruises. I can't quite go the booze cruises at our age now, but I can do like our party bus, our party cruise. So that's good enough for me. So yeah, and I love having Deb Kelly aboard and joining up with me, because we both have the same vision, and that's incredible, like in this day and time in the world.
People ask me, like my clients will say, like, what do I do to honor somebody I love that's no longer here? And I always say, find something they loved and do it.
Right. And do it good.
Yeah, and do it well. But do it because they'll be happy. That's how you honor them, right?
Right. Absolutely.
You do something great. I started my spiritual practice to honor my mom after she passed. That was one of the first messages I got from her was, okay, kid, now it's your turn. I thought, okay, mom said so, I got to do it. But I do. I think that's the best way to honor people that are no longer here.
And I always get the chills. Yeah, when I think about her doing that.
And I know she's so proud of how much you've built it up and how many women you've made happy, because, I've been promoting since 91, and it's a hard gig. I mean, a lot of work and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into it. It's good stress, but sometimes it's not good stress. Mostly it's good stress, but it's still very stressful, and you have to really be on your game. It takes a lot of emotional energy and a lot of physical energy. So I admire you for doing it, and I'm so proud of you, and I know she is too. Deb, how about for you? When did you get involved in promoting or putting together events for people?
I have actually always put on large house parties or Halloween parties. My go-to is Halloween, and I've had every third year or so, I've had a giant party that keeps getting bigger and bigger with like about 200 women. And right now I'm looking for a spot that we can actually hold such an event, because that's my passion. So I've been doing a lot of parties and a lot of events, but I haven't been charging for them. And I think that with this day and age, there is nowhere, like in Long Beach, there's no real places for us to go unless we're going out to see a musician. So I helped Pamela with a couple of our last events and decided, yes, this is the direction I want to go in.
Is Halloween kind of your thing? Is that your jam?
It is my thing. It's 100% my thing.
Let me just cut in here. She is amazing decorator, idea planner. Like she looks horrific. Like she does all the makeup and everything.
You go scary.
We're gonna have like the best Halloween. We're gonna have the best Halloween event. So you just watch and see, and DK will be in charge of that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
there won't be any blow up kidsy things. It's all going to be gruesome and
Serious.
scary, and
Nice.
maybe a few things
I,
popping out at you.
I follow
So
somebody on Instagram. I don't know who it is that always puts these memes up, like of like like the little Yoda from the dancing from the man. It always says like me when the Halloween decorations go out in
yeah.
August, and I'm the same way. Like as soon as I see the Halloween decorations, I'm like, I'm home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a collection of your own stuff?
I do. I have a whole storage unit for just Halloween.
I can't
And
wait for our event.
and I'm going to drop the little secret here. So in 2016 or 17, we did a Catholic schoolgirl theme, which was very popular.
Nice.
And so the little backstory is now that the girls have graduated from their high school, they're going to be in like the Catholic, um, college or university type of thing. So we're continuing the storyline. So it allows for somebody that can dress sexy as a Catholic schoolgirl. They could be a nun, a priest, anything
Yes.
ghoulish,
And we want to
whatever.
do like Catholic schoolgirls go bad.
Oh,
so
like
we want to do
ghoulish,
like the
like
revolting
dead
after
Catholic schoolgirls or Catholic schoolgirl zombies.
Yeah, we could do that as well. Anything to do with Catholic schoolgirls go bad.
I do have a
Use your
delightful
imagination.
nun's outfit, so
There you go.
So now I just
That's what I
invited
was.
myself. There you go.
Okay.
Sister Sheena just invited herself.
Perfect.
Exactly.
I think that's fantastic. That's so great. It's always nice to meet another Halloween obsessed person.
Right.
Makes me very happy, and probably not a surprise because spoiler alert, Deb and I have the same birthday. So maybe there's just something a little twisted in us. It's a twisted thing. We like scary Halloween.
Yes.
All year round.
And it's always my favorite holiday. I dress up my dogs in countless outfits and usually multiple outfits because it's my absolute favorite holiday. So that's another reason why Deb and I bond, because it's my absolute favorite holiday. So we're going to really do it. We're going to go off this year. It's going to be fun.
Maybe I'll get a little priest outfit for the cat. Wouldn't it be cute as a priest?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's so fantastic. Is it hard, because you were talking, Deb, about doing things for free, and I think for all of us when we start out as promoters, right, it's hard when you get to the point where you realize we're going to have to charge people. I mean, for some people, I think charging a lot of money comes very naturally, but I think for people who just really want to throw a party and make everybody happy, getting to the point where you realize, look, I got a venue, I've got a band to pay, I've got things to do, I'm going to have to charge a cover charge. Was that something that around to that is something that you just sort of have to realize it's a fact and not shy away from? Because there's only so much you can do with a show if you're not charging a cover, right?
Right. Bands are very expensive, and you get what you pay for. So we're always trying to find the best quality event and bands that will give back 100% to the ladies. When I first moved to California in '96, we had actually it was probably 3 years after that, we had a backyard party we had 6 bands performing. It was crazy fun, but you can't do that all the time. And you definitely can't do that monthly. Yes, the police came, by the way.
I was going to say, because of neighbors, you can't do that much.
Well, plus,
but women have to realize that we're not the bar. We don't make money from your alcohol sales, your food sales. We're not the bar. We're coming in doing all this to get you there. That's our work. And our work is to provide you with the best entertainment, the best, people that come there, and give you the environment of the safe environment, the clean, the classy environment. That's what we're providing. So it costs, our boat, we have to get the boat. We have to rent the entire boat and a captain and the crew. So it's like, we're not doing this. We have other jobs. I have 2 full-time jobs. I'm a realtor and I'm a personal trainer full-time. This is for the goodness of what women need. I've been just wanting to do this for so long, and now I get to do this. So it's so needed. There's there's very few people out there putting on anything, and you have to come and support us, because that's going to keep us going, because we can't do this if we're not, people aren't showing up, we're losing money. It doesn't make sense. So we want to keep going. The way to help us keep going and giving you these events is to show up, bring your friends, tell your friends about it, put our event up on your page, because it supports us. And that for me means everything, because we just need support. We're going to promise you an amazing event. You just have to show up, so that's all we're asking. And we're just doing this to keep it going forward. So we don't have to stop.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. And you guys do big things. I mean, you don't mess around. Like, you're doing big things with either a very popular band, like you're doing the Sunday that we'll talk about in a minute, or now in a few weeks, you're doing your second cruise, which I can imagine is a complete undertaking. It's not like hey, come down to the bar and hang out, somebody's playing acoustic in the corner. I mean, you guys are doing like a full service events that are really like an event, and not just
an adventure. I like to call it, Sheena. I like to call it an adventure, because it's like a full experience.
Yeah. That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening on Sunday. Let's start there. First of all, how hard is it to get an all-female band? I mean, how are there a lot out there still? Is it, I mean, as I said, I started promoting in the 90s, where every time you could spit, you hit 50 bands. But the world is different now, because a lot of people just record and put their stuff up on Spotify, and people don't necessarily play live as often, and there aren't that many venues where you can than there used to be. Right, Pam? When you started in the 90s, there were a lot more venues for bands.
Right. And I'm just going to answer that. So a year and a half ago, this is where I came into this aha moment, and I said, I need to get a women's band. And so I handpicked the girls for the rock. I had called them the Rock of Angels, which now they're Femme Crush minus the drummer, because I had Vicky Stewart as the drummer. But I handpicked these because I said, we need this. This is what I see. The women need this. They're going to be amazing. We don't have this in our community. Let me do this. So I got all the musicians to agree. We did a fantastic event at the executive suite, and they didn't hardly practice, and they just were phenomenal at the energy between everybody, the people that were watching. So I kept it going with the Rock of Angels, and I knew they wanted to change the name, because I gave them the Rock of Angels name. I'm like, y'all come up with something. But their names were a little bit, I couldn't really, they were a little indiscreet. They just wanted kind of names. They were like, we can't say that on camera. So I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to call you. Yes, so I'm going to call you the Rock of Angels, because it sounds clean but nice and whatever. Yes. So then they did change their name, and then I used the Rock of Angels, because if I have a group and I have to interchange one of the members, I'm going to interchange. The drummer can't do it, the singer can't do it. So I have other people to bring in if they can't do it, because I want to still have the event. So that's why I named it the Rock of Angels, and presenting Femme Crush is the band that they formed. And Allie just sent me a message saying how grateful she is, because now she's in this incredible band with these incredible musicians. Yes, and thank you. So I'm like, you know what? This is why I did this. So you guys could perform. You guys need that. We need this. You guys need this. We all need this. So let's all work together. So I am supporting their Femme Crush, and I said, get it up there. Let's do this. Because that's what I'm about, is putting people up what we need, and making it so everybody is happy, everybody is getting what they want, and creating such an experience that it's just, they want to keep coming back. So that's kind of what I did with Rock of Angels, and now it's interchangeable. I can use other musicians and still call it another Rock of Angels event, because that way people will, not get bored, and this is now a different group, but it's all going to be good. So so, and to keep it going, I mean, look, do you know any men's clubs or any that do this with men? There's no like gay guy club that does this with musicians. They don't have it. Women, we have that. So let's take it, and like the Rock, especially the Rock, it's just so needed, our 70s, 80s, 90s, and don't let it die. And bring that back on the stage. I mean, it's just beautiful.
Absolutely. Keep the rock alive, man.
Yes, that's right.
So Rock of Angels is kind of your brand, right? That you can
Right.
you can pop anybody in there,
and
or
put
you can
insert.
call them that, and you can pick the members.
Correct. And that's why I wanted to do that. So because it's very difficult with members that they have, you know, they can't, one person can't do it. This person, well, I have to do this event. I need somebody else. So guess what? We have this plethora of amazing artists I can just plug in. But guess what? You're going to want to work with us, and let's do this one. Let's do this one. And it just gives people something different and something exciting, because they all have different energy. You know, Allie has different than Julie Joe, and they're both my lead singers, and they both killed it, but they have different energy. I have Vicky in Palm Springs, and then I have Susan, and they both killed it, but in different ways. And they all have a different following. So let's just keep doing that and just, you know, making it work.
I love that. So last month, Femme Crush was here. So Susan and Jen and Leslie and Allie. And I've known Jen for, I think we were trying to figure out if it's 20 years from just tribute bands she's played in. And then I've known Leslie since I think I was 18. So that's more than 20 years. And I'm so happy. It was so great to have them on the show. Neither one of them have ever been on a show of mine before. And of course, I've just met Allie and I've just met Sue. And isn't it awesome that these wonderful women that I have known for decades, and I said this when they were on the show, are still playing music, still playing out, because so many musicians give it up after a while. And as a promoter and as a radio host, that always broke my heart. I had a friend that used to say, first the guitars get hung on the wall and then they get put up on eBay. And that just kills me. So to see the music still happening, and to see people, despite all the weird setbacks that we've had in local music, to see people still playing and still going out to the clubs. And I don't think people realize, unless you're in a band, and I have been, and I'm starting a new one, that first, it's not just about the promoting and the getting people there, but then it's dragging all the amps and all your stuff and all your sticks and picks and pedals and setting it all up. I mean, it's insanity. It's so much work just to get there and play. So when you're seeing a band play, think about that. Think about the work that has gone into them, just getting up on the stage, how much work, and then learning all those songs, right? I mean, some of these bands that do covers, I mean, they've learned 100, 200 songs. That's an incredible amount of work. And I think when you go see a band, like you go Sunday to see Femme Crush, be thankful to them that they've worked so hard to give you such a good show, because it's so easy to just put CDs on, just put music on, just put on somebody's Spotify playlist, but it's different.
You don't get the energy. You don't get if you come to one of my shows, you get the energy, you get the connection. You just feel it, and it's just, you can't describe it. You know, it's not, you can't sit home and listen to them play a song. It's, you got to go and show up and see that energy and the passion that they have, because they have it, and it just worked. It was like so incredible when it all worked.
Absolutely.
And so just, you know, I just want to say, you know, go just for that. Even if, you know, if you're coupled off, if you're single, whatever, there's going to be plenty of people there that are just like you, either, you know, just looking to go out and have an entertaining time, and just make sure that you go and show up. So that's, you know, and, you know, that's all I can say.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Deb, how do you feel about that, about live music? Do you think
I actually live for live music? I am 100% driven by music. So as I mentioned, like I don't go out bar hopping, but I'll go out to see live music. You know, there's got to be something to keep me occupied, but just to stand around in a bar and be like a wallflower is not my scene. So I followed quite a few of the local artists, and I was actually booking artists a couple of years ago at the Yacht Club, so that, you know, that it's a volunteer job, but I got to meet a lot of new people. And so, you know, and you always have to keep it fresh and get new people in. So,
yeah, what a great job. Yeah, there's like I said, I've been booking live music since I was 24, and my whole life, my whole adult life, right? It's at times when I'm not around musicians, I miss them because there is a beautiful energy to being around live music. And like I said, would it be easier to bring your iPhone and stick it in the speakers and turn on, the Spotify? Sure. But there's something about the connection that you make when somebody's playing live right in front of you. It's like live theater, right? There's nothing like somebody performing live in front of you.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to do a shout out to Jen Perot. She's my staple and my guru, and she's the center of the band, of whatever band she's in. She's in multiple. She's in probably 5 or 6 different bands at this moment. Yes. She always shows up. She's the steadfast one I can count on. Her and Leslie are my 2 in Rock of Angels that are my steadfast, that will always be there, and they'll always play. And they're just like, I can count on them. And it's so difficult when you have musicians that they all can match up, and work together, and they make sure it works. And that's what you need inside a band. And Jen Perot just happens to be our DJ also for our boat, DJ Gen X. And she's phenomenal. She's phenomenal. She is so good with music, and she brings all her equipment. From her car, we carry in all her stuff and her strobes and her DJ, mixing stations. And she just is she's just a clinic on how a performer should be and how talented she is. I just want to give a huge shout out.
I love that. And while we're praising Jen, so when I first met her, back however many decades ago, when rock music kind of switched to alternative music, and people that were wanting to hear rock music, and there wasn't a lot of local rock music, and tribute bands started, right? So there was the Van Halen one, then the Queen one, then the AC/DC, and then the Kiss one. And Jen was one of the women that was really essential in the scene of saying, well, wait a minute, all those bands are guys. Yeah. Why don't we do the same songs, but start an all-female version of the AC/DC band and the Queen band and the Kiss band? And I think she pretty much played in all of them.
She pretty much does and did. She's in Kiss. She's in AC/DC. She does it all. And she's so humble. And she's so amazing. She doesn't know how amazing she is, but I'm going to say right now. I agree. She's so amazing. And so I'm so honored to have her still be our DJ, because she's our DJ on the cruise. And also she'll be in Rock of Angels. She's in Femme Crush, so I'm just going to say, and you have to support, you have to come out, because musicians need support. They don't have CDs that you're buying. You show your support by showing up and,
tipping,
being there for them. It's all about the connection. They don't have, like I said, CDs that you can listen to. They're not making music. They're not doing anything. Their music is live, and so we have to support them by going to live events.
Yes, I always like that. When you go to a party and the invitation says, "My present is your presence," and I think for musicians that's so true. Like, what you can give to them,
that's all
you can come out and support. And it's not just about butts in the seats or how much at the door. It's really about that they get more satisfied. It feels good to them. It's, if they're looking out and seeing, a packed room of excited fans, people loving their music, that's what lifts them up. And they'll put on a great show if there's 2 people somewhere. Yeah. But to actually have a bunch of people, because there's a different energy when there's a bunch of people there that all love a band. And that's how you can really thank them for what they do. Like you said, Pamela, they don't have a CD. But you can support, you can make them happy by coming and clapping and hooting and, hey, I love your music. It's so important that because if we don't continue to feed these bands, it's like taking care of a garden, right?
They will die out.
They'll stop. And then everything will just become, something on someone's phone. And that's fun sometimes, but the live experience is super important too. And even just a live DJ, like you're talking about, Jen, being the DJ on your cruise, just a live person spinning has such different energy than, okay, we're putting the phone in the speakers and pushing play.
Exactly.
To have somebody there controlling the mixes is super amazing. So this is a good time to let's talk about Sunday's show first. let everybody know where it is, how they can go, what's going to happen, and let's promote that nicely since we're talking so much about Femme Crush and Rock of Angels right now.
Right. Deb, you want to talk or?
Okay, sure. This weekend show is on Sunday at 5 o'clock at Dirty Nelly's with Femme Crush, and we're purposely planning on not having late nights because, again, we all have jobs on Monday. So we're starting at 5 o'clock, and the band will be on for a few hours. And one thing I wanted to jump in, I'm sure the bands do appreciate getting tips, which I always try to bring a little extra cash to throw in. I mean, that's at the end of the night, that shows appreciation for the band as well.
Yes.
I
agree.
So Dirty Nelly's, Costa Mesa, I think everybody knows where that is.
Great venue. Such a great, and it's a great music venue. The acoustics in the room are very sweet. It's lovely for live music.
Yeah, and we have the whole entire establishment is closed. So the restaurant's always closed on Sunday. So this is a private event. It's only going to be for our ladies. And so there's plenty of parking, tons of parking. There's food. They're going to have a full menu. They're going to have drink specials. It's going to be just a great, the venue is, I love Monique. She works with us. She's so much fun.
Yes.
And it's our club that night. So we get the club. We're not sharing it with other people there. This is going to be our club, our night, and just show up, and it's going to be so much fun.
That's wonderful. I need to get her here on the show because I think
absolutely.
Because all of us as promoters, right? We've worked for amazing club owners and we've worked for awful ones.
Exactly.
And I think it's so important that it's hard to own a bar. It's hard to own a club. It's hard to own a restaurant. And I think we need to lift up the people that are doing a really good job because we want to make sure those venues stay open too. Because if they don't stay open, we have nowhere to go. So go out and support your local establishments, especially those that are having events. I know Monique she does comedy and all kinds of different things there.
Everything.
And those are all the things we need to be out supporting, right? We need to get out and support other people.
And she is so giving. She's so whatever we need. And she is the best restaurant. She's the best host, the best venue that I have ever had an event at. I've had them at multiple places because she's so giving and so encompassing and so positive throughout the whole night, no matter what. So it's just, I would love for you to get her on the show as well.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I went to my friend Diane Katz's birthday party was there, and that's when I met her. And I was like, this is an amazing, lovely lady. And now I follow her on Facebook, and I love her. Everything's very positive.
Yes.
Everything she does is very positive, and she speaks about her bar restaurant like it's a child. Like she really loves it.
She does.
And I think if everybody, and I talk about this a lot on here and in my spiritual work, if everybody just put 5% more effort into loving everything that's in their life, the world would be so different, right? I mean, whatever it is that you do, whatever you've got, whoever it is that you love in your life, your friends, your partners, just put more love into everything. And if you're, everybody knows that owning a bar and a restaurant's a lot of work, and sometimes you probably want to pull your hair out, but why not just love it? And that's what I love about the two of you, that when you two promote your events, there's so much love that comes out of both of you. And you can clearly see that you two are very dear friends, which I love. And also you really love the people that are coming. You love the venues you're working at. You love the musicians you're working with. And all of that positivity shows. There's a picture of the two of you, right? And didn't it say something like the captains? It was after your last cruise.
Yes.
And I was like, this is two women that are filled with joy right now.
We were, and we are. We were, and we are. And that's the thing. We can't help it. When we see so many people having such a good time and their smiles are beaming, not one, negative thing, at least something that we could control, has ever been said. And people are just so they just have these smiles that you just this is why I do it. This is why I do it, to make people smile. And because I don't care if they're with a couple or if they're single, they're all beaming. And each one of my events, this is what I've achieved. And I will continue to do this as long as I get that.
So awesome. And you know what you were saying, Deb, about tipping. Tip jar is good, right?
Yeah.
Bring a couple extra whatever.
Yes,
tip.
for Gen X too on the boat, on the cruise, because
Right,
you
100%.
know,
Also, during a break, because bands take breaks,
right,
during a break or after the end of the night, go talk to the band, say hi.
Mhm.
right,
And I'm sure you two are very approachable. Go talk to Pamela. Go talk to
absolutely,
Deb. Get to know
absolutely,
people and tell them what a great job you think they've done
right,
and how much fun you've had. Because
right,
I said that for the musicians, but it also applies to both of you, right? I mean,
yeah,
the real gratifying thing for you
right,
is to hear women come up and say, you know what? I had
yeah,
a wonderful time tonight, and to sort of feel that love and joy inside of them and know
right.
that you inspired that.
Yeah, and I know some women are more reserved because women
Sure.
just generally, in fact, so I will go up to them. Did you have a good time? Like I get in there, I'm a New Yorker, okay, so I'm gonna be like, okay, tell, and and then they change. They're like, oh my God, it was so much, like, because you have to, like, egg them on a little bit,
Sure.
because that's just the nature of women. Where
Yeah.
some people are just not
Yeah.
that type. So I will personally go up and find those people in the club and ask them specifically. And
Yes.
so then they change, and then they beam, and then they tell me, and so I'm like, okay, good,
Right. And that's kind of your job for the night, right? As
right,
the promoter, both of you kind of become everybody's best friend for that
right,
few hours that the event is happening. And
exactly,
you're a hostess, you're the kind of the parental figure because you're throwing
right,
the party, you're the friend, because the more people feel connected to you, the best time they're going to have, because we all know nothing is worse than you go to an event and everybody's cold, nobody's
right,
talking to each
and
other,
then
the
there's
promoters aren't
no
talking, everyone's
smiling,
staring, and
yeah.
then you think, okay, I'm having a really hard time having a good time, I'm feeling really uncomfortable right now.
Right. When you go up and you smile at somebody, they have to smile back. It's
Yeah.
like you can't go up and, so I just go beaming to everybody. That's just my personality. And then and then they can't help it. And then, you get their correct feelings, and then they change their energy. And then now
Right.
they're just like, now it's more flowing. So I mean, that's how it is. It's always been for women. Women are just very standoffish a lot, since the beginning of time. They're going to stand back until they feel comfortable, and so I'm going to try to make them feel comfort and safe so they can have a good time.
Right. Well, and here I go. I think that, however many thousands of years of humanity, women have been taught that you're not supposed to be too loud and you're not supposed to be too gregarious and don't talk too much and don't be too enthusiastic. I don't care. My mom raised me to just be whoever I wanted to be. But sometimes people will say, like, oh, why are you talking to that person? And I'm like, I talk to everybody. I think
Right,
if I'm going to be somewhere and I'm going to spend time somewhere, I'm going to make a friend.
right,
And that's because that's really why we're on this earth, is to make more friends as we go through life.
exactly.
I'm a very shy person, so that was very hard for me in the beginning. It's something over years I've learned to be like that. But otherwise, things can be very overwhelming, and I think the more happiness you put out, the more you get back, the less you feel I'm nervous in this group, or I'm shy, or is anybody going to talk to me? How about you,
Right.
Deb? Does it come natural for you to just walk up and talk to people and say hi?
No, not at all. I am the
I'm that
epitome of shy.
Yeah.
Um, the girls were teasing me that on Pamela's Winter Wonderland, once I put a clipboard in my hand, I took on a whole different persona, walking around, chasing
She
people
got, she
down that
got,
slip through the front door. And
Yep.
so, in part of what got me a little more comfortable in that role too was, again, the volunteer work I did at the yacht club, where I was the main greeter and the person putting on events and all that. So, um, the first 10 minutes I might be a little shy, but I think that I know my role is to make sure other people are having a good time, and
Right.
I just push through that. That was important on the cruise, that I thought we were at the top of the ramp greeting people as they came on board.
That's
So,
so awesome. That's so
in our little matching
same way.
hats.
If you want me to get over my shyness, maybe it's an Aries thing. If you want me to
Captain
get over my
Morgan
shyness,
and
give me
Captain
a
Kelly.
job. As soon as you
Yeah.
give me a job to do, then I'm fine. But if
Exactly.
I'm just standing
Same
around,
here.
if I'm just standing around expected to talk to people, I'm like, what if they don't want to talk to me?
No,
But if
we
I
were
have a
up at
job,
front and center. Everybody coming on, we're shaking. She's on one side, I'm the other. We're
I love that.
inviting them in on the cruise, on the board. We didn't. It was our first one. We didn't know. you know, there's changes we were making for the second cruise that we didn't know because it was our first cruise. So now we know, and we're making those changes. And you know, we have our menu changes. We have our cleanliness, say that, changes. We have different things that we know, and we're going to have more time this time because there's no boat. We don't have to rush and go. We're going to have time to set up. We're going to have time to get everything ready. So this is why I want people to attend our second one, because it's a better version of our first one, because we got to, you know, get the kinks out. So I would love for people to come to our July 14th event, which we just need people to show up. We need people to come because we want to keep this going. We sold out our last cruise, and we want to keep this going. Now this is a double feature we're doing with Corday, added Corday at the end of the cruise. So it's more for us to do, but we're offering them more. So
so Corday's not playing on the cruise. It's
she's playing after the cruise, but we're the one that set that up so she could play after the cruise. And so again, it's a full experience of a full day. So the cruise is on the 14th, and we leave at 1. We get there at 1. We're leaving at 1:30. And then it goes, and then Corday, when we dock, Corday plays at Shenanigans, right? It's walking distance after the cruise. So we have Gen X doing the DJing on the boat, and then we walk to Corday, and she'll be on the cruise also with Lisa, and then they'll go there, and we like shovel everybody off the cruise into a bar right on the water. So it's an experience. Yeah. It's an all day experience, but we worked out the kinks. We got the food better. We have more vegetarian options. We have now skinny and regular margaritas. Everything's included in the cruise price, plus the Corday experience afterwards is included. So
Corday thing will be the premiere of her band Yachty Girl and the Seamen. So it's a 4-piece, full band afterwards, which we are helping to put on. So that's going to be, it won't be the same old Corday show. It will be something new, costumes, like the continuing with the theme of the ocean there with a
Yachty Girl and the Seamen. That's her
like
group.
a stateside after party.
Yes. So
good thinking. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You both come up with such great ideas. It's so wonderful. So believe it or not, we're out of time. But let me know really quick again how people can go to both of the events, and then where they can find you if you have an online presence, so that everybody can look for future events.
Go ahead.
Well, our main social media is Facebook. We have an event landing page that is per each event. So right now, if you're looking for cruise tickets, you go on to the July 14th yacht party. That's my accent. So yacht party. I can't do it very well. Anyway, and the tickets are purchased through Venmo, PM Productions 10. And then the show afterwards is included with that. So that's easy. As far as Dirty Nellies, same thing. There's a June 30th event page, and you buy tickets at the door there. Easy peasy.
Beautiful.
So, maybe down the road we'll actually have a website that's more dedicated, but right now Facebook works wonders for us. So
Facebook's great.
And so this Sunday is our event at Dirty Nellies. It's also going to be a meetup event. So for all the single women of the world, go ahead and go. Where it's going to be a so many women, so little time meetup event. So we're going to have that. The people there we're going to host them as well. So it's going to be a great, hopefully a whole plethora of different kinds of women from Long Beach, Orange County, IE, and everywhere. And Palm Springs, people are coming in from. So it's going to be a great collaboration of women.
That's fantastic. Yes, I'm so excited. And where is that accent from? Is it New England?
Yeah,
it is. It's Boston.
Yeah, I'm a New Haven, Connecticut girl, so
Okay.
My best friend's from Boston, and I get called a weirdo about every night. So
Exactly.
Okay, and I'm a New Yorker, right? And I'm a New Yorker, but I'm an upstate New Yorker, so I'll have the accent only. Rochester.
Okay, my mom grew up in Poughkeepsie, so I got a little bit of that too.
I know exactly what
But
it is.
my mom never called me a weirdo because she wasn't from Boston. So.
Yeah.
I
That's
adore you.
wicked awesome.
Thank you for doing this. Let's do this again soon, and let's keep telling people about these events. From PM Productions, Pamela Morgan, Girl Spot, Deb Kelly. I adore you both, and I hope to see you soon at one of your events.
Love you, Sheena.
Thank you.
Okay, hope to see you
care.
Sunday.
Thank you,
Okay.
Rhonda.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you missed any of that information, I'm at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. I'm also everywhere on social media at Sheena Metal. And you can text me. Let's stay in touch and become friends. 818-437-0886. That's my phone number, 818-437-0886. Thank you so much to Parapod TV for making us part of your television family, to its owner and operator, my dear friend Tony Sweet, and to my engineer and producer, Emery. You are the wind beneath my wings, and I couldn't do this without you, my friend. Until I see you next time, seek peace, live in love, lead with kindness, embrace unity, always work to raise your vibration, and know that you are love, and you are loved, and you're loved by me. I'll see you next time. I'm Sheena. This is the Sheena Metal Experience, only on Parapod TV. I'll see you next Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific time. Until then, take care of you. You're so beautiful. Namaste.